Hey guys, welcome to another session of CZN. Today we're going to be talking about Chaos and the Chaos Run, which is the primary game or primary loop of the game, at least for building decks. And then from that, once you have built a decent deck, you can use that to take on other content. As you see, I am the commander level 36. If you're played from launch and you aren't a whale, you should be probably around the same area. Maybe you already hit level 40, but you should be near the same area. Again, we're going to be talking about Chaos. I'm going to treat this video as like not a full-on like tutorial guide for new players. You guys know that I don't really do that. It would take too much explanation, too much time to get to the root of it. But I'm going to treat this as like, you know, I'm enjoying the game, and I kind of want to talk through kind of like my theory craft, and maybe some min-max things that I've learned to do while doing my Chaos runs. So as an example, again, we know that each character has a set of cards, and these are their base skills. And then you can do a Chaos run and then come out with, you know, equipment, and it's all RNG based, of course. So sometimes it's really hard to get everything you want in a run. But you also get to choose sometimes what cards get duplicated. And sometimes you'll run into more events where your card has multiple epiphanies, as you see it here. And they get basically additional effects, bonuses, so to speak. I ended up with this. This is kind of making me kind of salty, but ideally I would have gotten like a duplicate of Echo of Sorrow, and this build would have been really good. But again, because we are in mid-game, or at least I'm in mid-game, min-maxing right now is probably not the best choice anyway. So that being said, continue on with the tips. One other thing is that if you get a mythic equipment, just be careful. Your characters actually can't get 2 mythic equipment. At least you can't leave with 2 mythic equipment. So this one run I had mythic equipment on my Renoa, and this ended up being the boss prize. And this would have been so good for Renoa. I was so pissed because you couldn't even delete it at that point. So I had to give this to my Mika. She was the only one that needed the gear, unfortunately. It would have been, it was so sad for me to see. So lesson learned, just keep in mind that you can only have 1 mythic. So if you're presuming you beat a like hard boss and you might get a mythic equipment out of it, make sure that if it's a sucky one for the character you're building, you don't get it, right? You delete it at some point, hopefully. That being said, what was I gonna say? Yeah, that being said, so that's basically what you get from your Chaos run. You get to build your deck based off of the cards that they will come with. Have epiphanies, have duplicates, potentially remove certain cards you don't want or add certain cards you want. And in this case, I didn't want this, so I added one that I didn't want. And then you get the gear that could potentially have, you know, some pretty good effects, and these are kind of bad. This one's actually okay, I guess. But that being said, we will continue. I am going to do a very, very light run on this, since Chaos itself is too much RNG. So I can't promise a good run or a bad run, but I like to talk about the runs itself. So we're gonna go for like something super simple, but the idea is that it will carry on throughout harder runs in the future. So first things first, if you are going to fight maybe a difficult fight, I would highly recommend you go to Starshine Diner, which is in Arc City, and choose a buff according to your needs. If you have a lot of damage scaling combatants, maybe go with the damage. If you, go with the defense. If you need some bulk just overall, maybe go with like a mix of, I think it was like a defense and health, like this one here. Or you can go with max health. I'm gonna go with this one for this one, and I don't even think I need it because the run I'm gonna plan on doing is one that is so easy. Technically, I should be able to steamroll it, but who knows? I could lose. The other thing is that ideally, you know, this is for like very end game. I think you're gonna want a deck that, in terms of composition of combatants, that is strong against the element of the actual manifestations, the chaos manifestations, the planets. They're not even planets, but they're just chaos manifestations. You kind of want to do that. I think later on it's going to get very difficult. So going with counter elements or elements that are not super effective may be bad. It would just maybe much harder. Right now, level 40 is going to be harder. If you click the switch up here, it's the Nightmare Run. This is going to give you the higher save data value. It does show basically all the potential you can get for some rewards and then basically what you'll get out of it. Saved data value is the higher it is, the better the outcome. So I think that would include like epiphanies, the equipment that would come out of it. So just want to keep that in mind. So you see here on difficulty 3, if I set this to off, the normal run, it is going to be save data value low. And if I go here, this is normal. If I turn this off, it's normal. So this is level 4. And then I think it basically has like some kind of subsequent scaling here. So if we go to level 60, this would be level 60. This would be end game, at least currently. This would be like super high, right? So just want to keep that in mind. Nightmare runs are worth it. I think if you're, if you already steamrolled everything on regular difficulty, the Nightmare Run is going to be, your best bet for a better deck. So, to each their own, on only when you're ready. The other thing is, before prepping, I would recommend you think about the character you want to build, and in your mind have the thought process of, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm only going to come out with one character that will be built well, and you should aim for that because of how much RNG it will cost. I don't think it's worth building 2 or even 3 characters at once, but if you get lucky, maybe you will have a bit of fortune spilling over onto other characters. They will come out with a better deck than you currently have or whatever. But I would just, my opinion, of course, is just to look at the character, look at all their cards, study all the cards, the starting cards from the fourth starting card, and then all the unique cards. They should, or most of the unique cards, they would have an epiphany. Kind of study what they do, and then study the character and what they should be doing. This last one won't, yeah. So 4 cards can have a card epiphany, would have a different effect, and you might get some bonus epiphanies as well. So just keep that in mind. Have that plan, and then that's your mindset going into it. And let's just do the run. I think I want to do difficulty 2 just so I could get a quicker run. I'm going to steamroll it because the recommendation is level 20. But I'm actually going to go with Renoa rather as well, just so I can speed the run. But for this one, I'm going to try to build Tressa's deck, and this won't be that good. Although I honestly, at 22k, she could probably have a really good deck by the end of this. So we're going to focus on her. So that's the mindset we're going to go into. Maybe even the shadow. Okay, we're going to go with this. We're going to go with this, and let's just go. So a couple of key things I want to point out even at the beginning of the run. This card epiphany that you can choose is RNG. I think it is random. So sometimes if you don't want it, like you don't want this hand, then you can just re-roll it. I've tested this twice. So this is something that would happen on the thing. Rare unidentified errors appear more frequently. Ideally, this is the best thing we can do right now. But here, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show the kind of edge case. If you don't have any good, like you don't have a really good start, what you could do is do this, and this will happen. It's kind of like a punishment, but maybe it's not a punishment. But let's just go. Let's do this. Yeah, we're just gonna do run 2, difficulty 2. Just showing again the RNG aspect. As you can see, now we have different cards, so you can reroll. The punishment you get is that you'll get this laziness, so it increases the max health by 10. Now sometimes this fate is actually better than any of the 3 you got, but in the previous one I got what is it called, reminiscent or whatever, reminisce. That one was actually pretty good for a run, so I'm gonna see if I can roll out of it. I'm just gonna quickly experiment. We're gonna have to choose it. Otherwise, that's not a bad default if you don't like your hand. So I'm just gonna escape. And what we're gonna do is, I think you can reset the fate if I just pick any single thing here, and I just roll out of it, and then we go back. but I can't be sure. I'm pretty sure how it works. This seems like, oh, I see. No, it actually punishes you multiple times. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. I'm gonna exit, but it's okay. Like I said, I think we should, with our level, we should be able to steamroll that one here. Hold on, let me go to this twin star. Because we also want to do some exploration, which means like unidentified areas. We want to explore a bit. So doing multiple runs is not a bad thing because you get some like decent rewards. You get some crystals and even some summoning currency and stuff like that. So it's not bad to do multiple runs. I'm liking the way that they have the PvE set out. Even though this is a PvE game, it is still pretty nice. Feels like there's a lot of content to do when you want it, but no pressure to do it when you don't want it. So that's what I kind of like about this game so far. That's just a rant. Oh, we will go for this one for 1 turn when using agony. And we will take this laziness, of course. They found out that we are lazy. We gotta plot out our map. So usually in the runs I like to do is that I don't like to take the camping spot unless if you necessarily need it. Sometimes in a later fight and a harder fight, there might be some strategy where you're like, okay, there's an elite here. I might not be able to survive if I, don't get a camp. So you start choosing the path later on. But outside of that, I wouldn't go for any of the camping spots unless you necessarily need it. Unless it has a shop icon here for Delang's shop. Since you can spend the currency you gain throughout your fights and events and remove cards, so that will be helpful for deck building as well. So you kind of want to plan out roughly what path. Outside of that, I think elites give you a very high chance of getting legendary gear. If you're looking for gear, I would fight elite over the red tiles. But outside of that, I would go for the question marks because again, that's part of the exploration as well, and you will also potentially get card removals and epiphanies early on. You kind of want to do that, especially for your specific deck. Let's quickly move on. Now, for the sake of the video, for the fights, because they can take quite long, I am going to edit out the fights, and we're just going to go to the end of the fight, decision making, and then move on, etc, etc. Okay, so expect some rough cuts in the video. I'm just planning out my first position here. I think I'm gonna go for maybe the bottom. We got one fight into question mark into fight. All right, so I'm not gonna commentate on the fight itself. All right, first fight. So regular enemies, we get some credits. Sometimes you get some rare gear as well, so that's if you're lucky. We'll go to the first event. So we don't really got much to choose here, unfortunately. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna get this equipment instead. We didn't get lucky, we didn't get an epiphany or anything like that. So when using an attack card with cost 2 or more, 3 agony. I don't think Tressa has 2, but let's just put this on her since that's what my aim is at the moment. So let's move on. I'm gonna go to the bottom here. We're gonna take the bottom fight and then the top question mark. I'm gonna insert here. So we did get an epiphany effect, and I'm just gonna choose one. 2 wave for 1 turn, 50 healing. Two wave 50 healing, I think. This can happen when there's a light bulb on their head, but also it could be a latent epiphany, which means that they will increase their deck, as in you'll get one of the unique cards. So there's RNG chance of that happening, and this happened mid-fight. That was one of the first cards that happened. So unfortunately I didn't record that part, but if you run into it, those are 2 of the potentials that can happen if you have that light bulb on their head mid-fight, right? So it will either increase your hand, like the deck. Oh, so right here, so we have 2, right? So this should give us a latent epiphany this time, I think. Or it could be, let's see. Yeah, this one's a latent epiphany, so this will expand my deck in terms of this card is now unlocked in the ultimate deck. And then this one, let's see what we have here. I'm gonna do this anyway, play more efficient because I'm gonna get my Dirge Bullet. And since this is actually doing a bit more damage with the Dirge Bullet out, we're gonna see what we get. Alright, so we also got a Latent Epiphany. So we basically just unlocked. And that's pretty much it. So that's also good. Getting these cards early would mean that when you get Epiphany events later, it would most likely be to give the effect. So this is what I mean by the Latent Epiphany here. This is just expanding the deck. So that's a good thing to record actually. So that's very lucky. So we're gonna go to the top because I don't want to hit the camp. I've gotten this one, yeah. Random combatant gains Epiphany 1 time. So I'm gonna definitely do this. Yeah, over this. Also expanding the card. So that's pretty good for Tressa. We got all pretty much, we're getting pretty close to all the cards. And then with that, we can start giving her cards actual Epiphany effects. So wait, so we got a light bulb on her head. We'll see if this is a card Epiphany or a latent one. So in terms of expanding, it is just expanding the deck. So we're close to actually finishing it, which is good. Alright, this is gonna be good. We're getting Epiphanies really often, and I think it has to do with the Nightmare run, to be honest. I think this is only expanding her card. Yeah, I think we did get a card there. I saw it before the round ended. In this case, I think I'm gonna take the top one. So we hit the Elite. I think that's ideal, and we also hit the Length Shop. So for this run, this top path is going to be the ideal choice. And we actually got this. This is pretty good. Usually this treasure trove, if you get this event, usually it's 3 treasure boxes. You get 1 equipment and basically like a bit of 100 over 100 currency or whatever. That's 100 right there. I think 150 or something. Okay, no, we got a piece of gear, which is okay. At the end of battle, HP below 50, recover 8. We're gonna give this to her. And we got another one. At the start of the turn, at the start of battle, gain 2 counterattack. Yeah, sure, we'll give it to Renoa. So far, this run is pretty good. Kind of liking the odds, and the enemies are not super hard that, you know, I'm gonna fail all the time. So I think this round is gonna be a Tressa show for sure. See, this guy has closer to attack, so let's do this. We'll create 2 Shadow Dagger. We'll give him the... Is he already dead? Is he already dead? I think that Agony already kills him, right? So let's just spread out the love. And also the counter, so yeah. We get 2 counters. Got another Epiphany. I think this one's gonna be a card Epiphany. Yeah, because I think we already got a lot of her deck. So this is why getting those latent Epiphanies or expanding your deck is so important at the beginning. So you can actually start choosing the skills. Now, to my knowledge, I should insert this. To my knowledge, once you have an Epiphany on a card, you won't get another chance to have an Epiphany. This could be important to think about when you get to choose. There are events where you could choose the combatant's card to Epiphany. Those are really good moments, but you should just be careful. Like, again, this is RNG, right? You don't know what you're gonna get later on. But otherwise, sometimes you can be sad that you don't get it on a better card. So like a better Epiphany effect, perhaps with one of the chaos like monsters or whatever, and you don't get it on a better card because you Epiphanied it early. So just keep those things in mind. I think that's how it works. I'm gonna go with this -2 ally stress. This one's always very helpful for me, so I'm gonna do that. Yeah, this run is almost all Tressa. Did he run? I think he ran, right? I don't think that counts as a death. Either way, we got a legendary equipment. If no fixed shield, if there's no shield gained 60% shield. That's actually not bad. I'm gonna give it to her. Okay, but there's 1 star because of the low level run we're doing. For the sake of just theory crafting. Now we could go top, but we could also do an elite. I think for this run, since we're only doing 1 main boss, I might just go for that elite anyway. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the top. Let's explore. Again, I'm just trying to build a good, decent deck for Tressa. She deserves better than this, but usually when there's an event that you can invent encounter, if there's nothing else good, I would just take it, because sometimes it would be pretty good, like really rewarding. Sometimes you might get jebaited. I've had it been jebaited before, so let's see what happens. Wait, are we fighting? Crap. Okay, so we get an okay, so decrease credits, get epiphany 1 time, or roll 6, get epiphany, but you initiate the battle if you fail. So right now we're gonna go with the credits because we have a lot. Definitely enough for Delang's shop when we get there. So these are some of the decisions we have to make on top of potential RNG. Alright, so we got card epiphany, we got that unlocked. So any epiphany that happens on her now, assuming that she does not getting another card unlocked, would mean that we'll get an effect, an additional effect, or change the effect. These teleport points, in case you are not familiar, these are the only times where you can guarantee like, okay, I'm gonna turn off my game and not lose the run. So I would keep your eye out for it and decide whether or not you should be taking a break, this temporary return. But since we're not gonna do it, let's not. If you go back to the lobby, I don't think you can farm stuff to improve your character. I think the game locks you out of doing stuff like that. So let's see here. It's not just giving that good. X is applied as X plus 1. That's kind of interesting, because one of Tressa's epiphany skills for one of her cards actually transforms it into an X based card instead of AP based card. So but I won't buy it. It's too expensive, and none of these are going to be that good at the moment. So we're going to go on and remove a card. It says we're building Tressa. I think that her having heal isn't that important, so I might go ahead and get rid of it. Everything else is good. The agony, creating shadow daggers, and she already has a heal here, so we're just going to get rid of this heal. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do for this remove. We get our free rest. All right, so there is another Delang shop on the top. We technically do have enough currency to remove again, so let's just do it anyway. All right, so we have yet another epiphany. I'm pretty sure it is Nightmare. Nightmare just has better. Ooh, okay, this one's good to talk about. So the epiphany type, Nihilum. There's different monsters, different creatures, and they usually give some cool effects. So this one again. So this one is on the right side here. This is a unique effect. You won't get this in a regular epiphany. It has to be one of these events. So this is kind of cool that we get to see it on Tressa. I didn't even get to choose. It chose for me. So keep in mind the RNG aspect, right? I didn't get to choose Tressa. The game chose it for me. So this is definitely Tressa's run. 130 heal. We get to see the original, right? Hold on. That's just the art. I don't want to pick the wrong one. 100, and then create 1 advanced shadow dagger, and then this one is create times X, and then create X shadow dagger cards. Increase this card's healing by 30. Now this is where that gear with that X plus 1 literally would have been good for this, because it would be it would be heal 1 plus 1, X plus 1, and then create X plus 1 dagger cards. So I think without the gear, like, is this even usable? Let's check it out. I think it technically did already have effect. So unfortunately I didn't go with that X plus 1 gear. Now I'm kind of salty. I Otherwise, this would have been actually decent. That guy's already dead, so we're gonna agony him. But yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes RNG be this way. This is why the chaos runs can be very infuriating, but also really fun at the same time. Go to Delang shop. Let's see if we can get one of those X+1 gear again. Oh, and it's on sale. Hey yo, wait, is this the run? Although we won't be able to remove card at this point. And you know, it's good to see, right? It's like, okay, if I'm building 2, do I want to remove? At the moment, we don't want to remove any of Tressa's cards at the moment. I would not even use it. We'll get this X+1 and we will give it to her. It is on sale. So this could be a decent deck. Unfortunately, I did this at a lower difficulty, but again, if you run Nightmare, you're just gonna have more bang for buck, right? So eventually that will be the end game in terms of building your deck, for sure. Alright, so let's try this out, actually. We don't need a heal at the moment, but I want to try this out. As X+1 become 4, it is, right? So, you know, I'm learning this. You guys may have already knew this. If you're watching this video, you're already like, oh wait, Jagan, we already know that. But it is my first time learning it. So wait, that guy's already like down. Should have saved it. Ton of agony. Alrighty. I think we're cooking. Okay, I've been hitting record and off record every single time, and every time I turn off the recording, we're getting an epiphany, and I'm pretty sure this one's gonna be a effect. Yeah, and this one's also, whoa, this one's epiphany sacred. Oh man, nightmare runs are insane. Alright, so no matter what, most of the time, the special epiphanies are going to be the one you want to do anyway. But just to keep in mind that sometimes maybe that's not the build you're going for, so don't feel you need to be greedy. But this time for sure, right? So this one is 53% times 3 damage, and then 20 for each dirge bullet in hand. Let's close that. Move up to 3 dirge bullets from the draw pile and graveyard to hand. Reduce the cost of this card by 1. I like this one. I actually have this exact one on another build. So I'm just gonna take this one. It's already in my current Renoa build that I really like. So, but we got kind of lucky, but kind of unlucky. It would have been cooler if it had chosen Tressa for us, since we are building Tressa's ultimate deck, at least for now. But well, let's not cry about it, since that was a pretty good luck on that. All right, regular enemies. We got lucky. We got a latent epiphany here. We're definitely gonna open that. And because, again, like I said, the latent epiphany, if you've already got all the cards in the deck, it's going to become like the actual effect. Let's see, which one is good here? Let's view the original. Healing 102 and then 30 per number of AP. Or I can go 51 and then 50 healing equal to number of AP used this turn. Now regularly we have what, 3 to 4 AP. So that is, let's say 4 max is 251 versus, yeah, I mean it's more heal for sure, and this will be at the end of the turn. But it kind of gets confusing if you're running like characters like Renoa. Maybe you have the flower skill removing everybody's card in hand, you know? So there's a draw to everything. No pun intended in terms of the card language. Let's see here. Shield equal to healing amount exceeding max. I actually kind of like this. Let's see here. 30% healing to number of AP, 1 wave. I guess the middle one just means that 1 wave. I kind of like this. I kind of like the shield effect of this. I've actually never gotten this one on her, so that would be, if she comes out to be a decent deck, which I highly doubt, that would actually be an okay one. Let's see here. They're all about the same. One fight into 1 question mark. Let's go to the middle. But I just wanted to make this as educational as possible, and we actually get a satisfying run where we end the run instead of die halfway or have to escape. And that is actually a decent tip too. I tested it on stream with my stream chat. If you are about to die and you don't want to deal with the freaking trauma and the trauma center or whatever, you can escape and you still leave with everything you have up to that point. So my opinion is, like, if you know you're dead, you may as well just escape. So that's like top right, top right, hit the bottom there, escape. Obviously I'm not going to do that for this demonstration, but this is something to keep in mind. I don't think there's any drawbacks outside of, like, there's not really much drawbacks. Oh, I didn't use that X card. I actually like that, actually. Now knowing that Tressa has that X thing, I'm going to hunt for that. I think that's going to be one of her best in slot. Because the ring equipment is also a rare, a legendary. So if you get like a mythic, for example, like a mythic maybe in the armor or the sword, the weapon slot, it's gonna be so much better, right? Again, you can only exit the run with one mythic equipment per combatant. So just keep that in mind. Let's see here. I think we're just gonna go with this random one. I don't even want to roll the dice. This doesn't really matter. Ideally, I wish I could get a better armor. I think she would be a lot better off. But we're just gonna go for Tressa, that is. Okay, we're gonna go to the Lang shop one more time. There's really no card I want to remove outside of making my fight more efficient, but realistically we're gonna beat this boss because it's such an easy content at the moment. But again, we have 7 cards here, and then there's nothing really much to remove. I guess I can remove her attack card because we don't really need that. Let's remove it. Gonna rest to reduce the stress. And then we're just gonna do this boss. Let's see what his effects are. Oh, I think I fought him before, right? Let's see here. We don't have any Dirge Bullet to create, so let's do this. If the target is in agony, which he's not, so we're just gonna use as many high damage as possible. I should have did that wave, actually. The wave would have been more important to set up for future. Yeah, we're gonna like burst him down here. There's no way this guy survives. He's too weak for our level. But actually a pretty decent deck. I think it's gonna beat my current one, which is 22k TB or whatever it's called, TP. Yeah, he's a bit too weak for us right now. Oh my goodness, wait, we got more epiphanies? Yeah, this would have been such a good run if we actually were trying. Oh boy. Oh mama. 192 damage, create 2 Dirge Bullet card, and then increase this card's damage by 30%. Bro, I've never gotten this on any deck, man. I'm kind of salty that this is gonna be like a B tier Renoa, at least for where I'm at in the game. That's so crap, man. I'm gonna wait. I have to attack him. Okay, let's do this as well. Let's get this effect. Let's just see. That's crazy, man. We got 3 of the monster ones. 100 heal versus 50, right? Is that the original? Right. I think we're gonna go with this one. We really don't need it. I mean, we have so much firepower in this run that wait, why didn't that create 4 daggers? Is it up to 4? Was it random? I don't remember. He's already dead. Like, can I do this? Do I have any Dirge Bullet? I don't. And he kill off the ads, perfect. So we can baste in our success here. yeah, for this run, outside of the enemies being super like weak, if we were fighting like difficulty 3 or 4, I think they would be pretty annoying to deal with. But yeah. So at the end of the run, we get to copy the card. So remember, if you're doing difficulty 3 or higher, if there's 2 bosses, there's 2 floors. So it's double the time. If you are doing 2 bosses right here, you also get to teleport out. So it's realistically like, what have we done? I think about an hour-ish in this run, with the fights. Yeah, you get to copy 2 cards, all right? So again, let's go through this. If we could obtain this, copy the card, but okay, it gives us a choice. Good thing that it gave us 2. It gave us effing 2. Like, this is crazy, man. Getting this dupe. Now, the only thing is that, in my experience, you don't get to walk out with 2 of these. I don't know if it's a bug or if it's a design choice. If you guys know the answer to that, let me know in the comments section down below. But we're gonna check it out right after, okay? So at least it was when an ally uses an upgrade card, this is a ring slot, so it won't be good for her. Unfortunately, I don't think any of these are good for her, but I'm gonna see who can use it. Let's just put it on this. I mean, I'm not keeping that Renoa anyway. And then the Chaos Loot, I wouldn't recommend taking anything when there's 1 boss. When it's higher difficulty, definitely take. Apparently these currencies also do refresh weekly. It seems to be the case because I was down to 1 and now I have 4. So, but anyways, we'll skip that and then the match will be over. All right. This is definitely over 22k, yeah. So that was actually a really healthy run. For a level 2, difficulty 2, I have 33k here. And that's like as good as my Renoa even. And my Renoa is actually pretty stacked. But let's take a quick look at the what we got in terms of the card. I want to see, again, to end this video, I want to see if I actually got the cards I wanted and not get screwed over. So we're gonna check. So moment of truth. It actually kept both epiphanies, but it gave us our heal back. Okay, so that's super inconsistent for me in my opinion. So I don't know how that works. You guys gotta let me know in the comments down below. Our equipment ended up being pretty bad. I guess this one's okay, but I have 2 cost here. That's it. So not the best for her, not her best in slot. This one's pretty good. This one kind of sucks. But let me know in the comments down below, like what is this? Like, how does this make sense? I'm gonna save this data. It's gonna be one of my favorites for now. I don't need a name, but I want to change the background for this. What is it? Customize. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, like how does this thing work? Because let me show you here. So I'm gonna equip this, right? It's gonna be best in slot for Tressa for now for other content. But if I go to my Renoa, this was the best I got so far. It's got a mythic. It's got this one. It's actually pretty good, but it's a basic card, so unfortunate. But I ended up with this card, this tactical action. I didn't even know that was possible for one. And then sometimes I can get 7 cards, right? Like. So this is not even her full deck. So I don't understand why the shield has to come back. Well, I thought that it was supposed to be 8 card max. So that's kind of interesting. But anyways, I'm gonna end this here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, of course. Any tips along the way for me as well. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the game. Hopefully that this has been educational. If you want to see more content from me, of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Feel free to check out the Discord channel as well, where I kind of spend my time there, especially reading my my regular folks' messages. But outside of that, I'll see you guys on the next one.